Hey guys, how's it going? It's an addict named Foster. Um, I wanted to start this out by saying that my girlfriend is currently in recovery right now, and when you're when you're out there in the streets and you meet people that are also getting high just like you are, and you find out that something has happened to one of them, that they overdosed and they might have died. Um, it's you kind of get this feeling like, oh no, I'm glad it wasn't me, or it doesn't tend to upset you as much as it would um, when you're trying to do better. uh, I've been in recovery a few times. She's doing it right now. And when you're in recovery and you're around a lot of addicts that are trying to do better, you build a very close bond with these people. They become like family. And uh, me and her video chat a lot. And she called me last night crying. One of her friends that I don't even know this girl, and it's really upsetting me. One of her friends that was in recovery passed away of an overdose. And I've been there. I have three very close friends of mine that lived in the same county I'm from that have also passed away. And if you're an addict, you know someone has passed away of an overdose, and it's going to happen again if it's not you. So I just wanted to start out by bringing that up. So it's very difficult anytime it happens, and it puts. You also have to think. When you're in active addiction, you don't really think like this. I know personally myself. If I knew that someone had overdosed, the addictive personality goes right to, well, where can I get those drugs? Those got to be good. And it's such a backwards way of thinking. So many people have lost their lives over it, and it's got to stop. It's a vicious cycle. It's terrible. I remember there was a time when I was living in a cabin in the woods, and I was staying with two other people in this cabin, and we had always told the guy that was staying there with us, me and one guy were staying there, and this other guy wanted to come and stay with us. And the rule was, if somebody didn't use every single day, then you do not bring them to the cabin to get high. And the reason we had that rule is because of overdoses. We didn't want anybody overdosing where we stayed. Well, he broke that rule, and we walked in on him, and he had a guy I knew very well in the cabin with him getting high. And I said, hey, what's going on? How's it going? How you been? And sure enough, the guy did too much and overdosed right there in the cabin. Fortunately, from when I worked at a roofing company and became a supervisor, I had to go to a CPR course. So luckily, one of the three of us knew CPR, and I was able to save the guy's life. But I was in active addiction, so I didn't exactly go about it the right way. We picked him up and carried him out of the cabin and put him back down on the ground, and I performed CPR on him. After a few breaths, we carried him further down the trail, and then I gave him CPR again until we got him away from our cabin. So we're carrying this guy's lifeless body through the woods, trying to get him to the road where the paramedics can get to him and not find our cabin. Well, I got him to where he was responsive, and he came to, and the first thing out of his mouth was, "That was good. Let's go get some more." So I just immediately turned around and got away from him. But that's how it goes. It's terrible. Love you too, babe. I was just telling people about your friend, and it never gets, you know, if anybody asked me if I ever felt like harming myself, I would most certainly say no. But at the same time, I'm putting a chemical into my body that can kill me at any point. So it just becomes redundant. My family has been so scared that I'm going to overdose and die that they've tended to kind of enable me in a way by trying to keep me safe. It doesn't work. They wanted to help me any way they could. They wanted to make sure that I, was okay. But at the same time, I was turning that around and going out and doing whatever I could to get high, right behind their back. And a lot of times they would know I was high, but they couldn't prove it, and I would lie about it. And there was nothing anybody could do. So just, if you're out there messing up, try and think of the people that you're putting through hell. I know that's hard to do. I wasn't able to do it. I put my parents through hell. I put my grandmother through hell. My kids, definitely. My kid's mom. It's just one of those things. And then if you know anybody, now the people that I lost to overdose that were friends of mine, every single time they got high, they were out like a light. I remember I had a friend of mine, in my passenger seat of my car, and the next thing I know, his head hits the dashboard, and his lips were blue, his eyelids were blue. I thought he died right there. So I'm trying to drive this car and keep him from breaking his neck on the deck, because he was so limp. His body was trying to go down into the floorboard while his head was still stuck up on the dash. And if I had been in an accident or anything like that, he's gone. So I pulled up to the hospital, right up to the front door, or into the parking lot, where I could open the passenger door and try to bring him back before I turned him into the hospital, because I didn't want him to get in trouble, but I didn't want him to die either. So thinking things from his point of view, or what, he put me through hell trying to make sure he stayed alive. And I'm sure I've done that to other people. And it's hard to look outside yourself sometimes and do that, but if you're trying to do anything in recovery, or if you're trying to better yourself, stick with the program, because it's so much easier if you go out that door to die. I've seen it happen way too many times. And like I said, my girlfriend just lost a good friend of hers, and it hurts. It hurts way more with these people that you build a relationship with in recovery than it does if you're in active addiction and you know somebody, because you're not in your right state of mind at that point. So I just wanted to go over that with this video. Do everything you can. Work as hard on recovery as you did on getting a drug, and you'll be alright. If you don't give it everything you got, you'll never make it. I've been told that 100 times, and I haven't really put it into effect. But this time, that's why I'm making these videos, is because that's exactly what I'm going to do. So with that, I appreciate everybody that's watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you with the next one. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.